What's up, brochachos? I got the baby sleeping back in the back seat right now, so I figured I'd utilize this time to get some editing done and make more videos. So this one here that we're about to watch or about to put together, this video will be about me going over all the individual parts and giving some information about the pieces that I chose and justifying kind of why it makes sense for my build for the purpose of this car. If you haven't seen the first two videos, the first video I guess is not crucial to see. The first video I just kind of went over the organization, and that was just a fun video to kind of get the ball rolling. But video 2 you really should check out, because that is the one where I discuss the purpose of this build, and I talk about the car more in depth and let you guys know kind of what the expectations are of this car. So go ahead and make sure you go back and watch video 2 so that this video will make sense for you. Other than that, yeah, I'm going to get going on picking up these parts and chatting a little bit about them. I hope to get through half the parts for this first video, and then I'll probably come out with a second video with the rest of the stuff. Thanks for checking back in, and appreciate you guys watching. Guys, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I'll do my best here to hold the camera as I am trying to go over things with one hand. So coming from the front of the car, we're going to run the 3.5-inch ETS intercooler. I went with 3.5 inches because, like I said, with the power levels that I'm aiming for, anything else is just going to be overkill, and it actually would probably mess with the spool time. So I want to have a pretty quick spool time. I'm hoping that with this setup here, I'll go over this in a little bit. That's the FP red right there. We're going to run the internal wastegate. We're going to run the short route intercooler piping right here in wrinkle black. This is a 2.5-inch piping. We got the battery relocation kit, so the battery is going to be relocated to the back. That's what that box is back there. Yeah, so we've got short route here. It's going to come into the intercooler here at 3.5 inches, and then this was a mod that I had before the engine went, so I already ran this pipe here. This is the anodized version of the ETS lower intercooler pipe. And when I switched from the stock to that one, I did notice, obviously I had to get a tune at that time as well, so it probably had a lot to do with the tune, but this was a really good mod for very cheap. And so if any of you guys are looking to start somewhere, that's a big one right there. That's a big help for you guys if you guys want to get your spooling up a little bit quicker and lower in the rev range. The next thing we have here, this is an all new oil cooler kit. This is from STM. This is their setup here. It looks super clean. This is one of the things, if you ever blow an engine, you have to get a new oil cooler, because it'd be full of shards of your block probably, and it's just not worth it, not worth risking it. So that's something you're going to have to get. That's brand new. I'm really excited about this one because like I said, I wanted to run mostly AN lines, and this STM kit comes with the AN lines standard. I think they're -6 on the setup, but yeah, that's going to be something you're going to need regardless. This has nothing to do with power levels. This just has to do with keeping that oil cool and keeping that car reliable. And over here we have the CSF radiator. A nice polished finish here. Comes with a couple of adapters. You can either run like a standard hose with clamps. I just test fitted this and it works out perfectly, so we're going to end up being able to run the AN lines straight into there. And that'll go straight. It'll be the reason I bought the CSF radiator, I accidentally bought that Mishimoto one over there, and that is a stock replacement, which means the hose here is moved, I think, somewhere in the middle. So when you run your line to the water neck, it has a curve in it, and this one you're able to comes over here. It's like, this one's I think similar to the Evo 4, 5, and 6. Makes it so you can run a straight line straight to that water neck. It just cleans up the engine bay, looks really good, and just kind of eliminates some of that clutter. So between that and between the battery elimination and the short route intercooler piping, things should be pretty clean in there. Other than that, hey guys, it's the next day, and this is something that I forgot. It was under the oil pump. It was hiding there. This is the STM water neck. This is what's going to allow me to run the dash 16 AN lines to the radiator. So nice clean looking water neck there. Nice welds. We have this Spal high performance fan that we're going to run. And then, so I'm only going to run the AN line on top. On the bottom, let's see here. On the bottom, we're just going to run a regular standard clamp here, the Mishimoto one. That was for that one. We're going to run that one down low and just clamp it. You can't see it, so out of sight, out of mind. Got some extra clamps in here. Oh, and this is the straight. This one would also work here as well. So, but I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to end up not running that. I'll just probably hold on to that in case, or I'll probably end up just selling it because there's really no need for it. Going back into the, I should have mentioned this when I was getting into the intercooler piping. The blow-off valve that we're going to run here is the tile blow-off valve here. It's a nice piece here. Nice sturdy piece. The legit one, no knockoff. Made in the USA. So that's also another thing here about the build, is a lot of the stuff here is going to be, obviously, unless it's not OEM, a lot of the stuff is going to be US built, US made. So I think that's a pretty cool component here. There's been a lot of big companies working hard to develop and to revolutionize the Evo game, and I like to, obviously reward that and order from within. There's a lot of good JDM parts, but I'd rather just stick with the US manufacturers. So that's why I'm choosing that. That's why I'm running that. As well, I have all new hoses and all new T-bolt clamps. So we'll run a little bit of hairspray in there. We'll put these clamps on and hopefully have no issues with popping off. Another thing we're going to be doing here is the speed density setup. So we're going to get rid of the mass airflow. We actually, before the engine blew, we were already on speed density. So I still had the mass airflow on there, but there was no function. It wasn't plugged in. So now I'm going to be able to just run this straight. I think it's a 4-inch. Is it 4-inch? No, I think it's a 3-inch. I think it's a 3-inch tube there, with the pretty big filter here up top. And that filter is K&N. It's a K&N filter, I believe, that we'll be running. I think it's it's a K&N filter. And over here, let's talk a little bit about the turbo setup. So this one here is the FP Red stock frame. And so I'm going to be using FP for everything coming out the exhaust side from the turbo. So over here we have, sorry, actually I'm not, that's a lie, because this is an MA Performance. So this this piece here is from MA Performance. We got new hardware for it. We've got the donut gasket, which I'm not sure if we will use, but we have it in case. It depends on which downpipe we end up running. Like I said before, I hope to use the Busher downpipe, which does not require the donut gasket. But if I end up running the other one over there that I picked up with the RRE exhaust, I think I'll have to run that gasket. This here is the FP. It's not ported or anything. It's just the FP, and it's the stock intake manifold setup. We got new hardware here to mount it up to the block. That's going to come into the MA Performance O2 housing here, which will bolt up to the FP Red. We're going to run the internal wastegate here. Now this was a big decision for me, because we can easily make more power with the external, but because I want to be as quiet as possible, like I really One thing I didn't like about the full busher setup is when you get on it and when you go full throttle, that is super loud. And if we were to go open down or open dump, it would keep me away from putting my foot on it, because I just didn't want to. I was always kind of timid about, you know, getting picked on by a cop or something like that. So this will be nice because it'll just go right back in, vent it right back through the engine, keep it quiet. And yeah, that's the reason why we're gonna go with that there. We also got a new J pipe down here, because the one that I had before got over tightened at some point, had a little bend in it. So that'll be nice to have a fresh J pipe there. All new gaskets, that goes with that. We got the fuel lines here, FP red, or the FP fuel lines, ready to go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close this video up right here because I do not want them to be getting too long. I'm trying to keep them around 10 minutes long at the most, and this one looks like it's gonna be probably 11 or 12 minutes already. So I'll end it here. You guys saw the FP red. In the next one, I am going to start the video off going more into the FP red and how did I get to choosing that one with all the other options and variables that you have and different components that you can choose from. How did I land on the red and why? So we'll go a little bit more in depth into that, start a discussion there. Yeah, like I said in the video here, if you guys have anything, any feedback or any suggestions, go ahead and leave those comments down below. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll try to get this video up as soon as possible, and I'll see you on the next one.